Tell me in a few words what Golden Provders is.
Golden Provders is it's an opportunity for helping elderly people, people that are taken advantage of on several occasions, which does happen purely because of their age. And we're basically policed to the extent that we are background searched, so we can be part of Golden Provders as blue collar network to make sure that they are going to get a trustworthy person on site that's not going to take advantage of them.
And tell me about some of the members of Golden Provders. What kind of businesses are connected to it?
Well, at the moment, there's obviously myself, which is pest control, plumber. I know we have a roofer and an AC guy that are going to be joining. We have a realtor, mortgage. We're starting to build up with new people that are starting to come in to supply all the services that are required.
And what kind of a business would you say would be a good business to take a look at joining the Golden Provders?
Anything that provides a service, like I say, air conditioning, landscapers, plumbers, electrical engineers, people like that. People that are going to be in people's homes, that are going to require that service. That's going to be able to be done for a senior. So, basically anybody that's in the service industry.
Right. Now, there's a lot of businesses that are not necessarily what I would call hands-on like that. We're talking about physical repair, things like that. There's also a lot of medical things and different assisted living facilities and things like that. How would you characterize that level, those members to the Golden Provders?
Well, they're supplying a service. The service is there where they work hand in hand, guardians and assisted living, and of course you've got senior solutions, which is the legal aspect of it. Making sure that people are being put in the right places.
So if you were going to invite a business friend or somebody that maybe you've worked with in the past who's in a different business or something like that, and you said, hey, you ought to carve out some time, come see what this thing is all about, what would you say to them?
As a business person or as a blue collar worker?
Well, I'd say anybody that is a business person that's providing a service. So that probably they could be, like you said, I know you've invited some different people that like with pools or things like that.
Right.
But it could be almost any business that you would think would be appropriate.
Well, I contacted one this morning, a landscaper, and I said, look, there's a great opportunity here. And with them being a landscaper, I did preempt a potential problem, by saying that people are being background searched because they don't always hire the right people. And, and he loved the idea of joining it. And he said, well, there are a couple of people that do work for me. He said, I've background checked them, I know there's an issue. He said it was years ago. He said, but obviously, he said we wouldn't put them on site with anybody. He said, I don't even do that now. Because obviously, he said, when I'm dealing with single women in particular, was the way he put it, opposed to the elderly, he didn't want them on site and any potential issues cropping up. So I explained how the Provders works. He wouldn't be like the only one, it could be possibly more in that industry, but it is a service that would build up over a period of time through trust.
Yeah. And if you invited him to the meeting, what would you tell him the benefit to him would be?
He needs to be there because it's like the old BNI thing. Visibility is profitability. And it's true. And at the end of the day, people aren't going to use people they don't trust. I think I'm fortunate enough where they know me, they know I'm trustworthy, and if I refer somebody to do something or come into a group like Golden Provders, I'm not going to invite somebody that's going to be have an adverse effect upon the group. Now
you've been involved in Golden Provders for actually quite a while. As the organization is growing and even getting kind of like, if you will, a whole new lease on life and in the direction it's going, there's a consumer aspect too. There's been directories in the past, both online and printed directories, so that in addition to being business-to-business networking, there's also been an aspect where a consumer can go and say, well, I need a such and such, and these people have been already checked out by the Golden Provders. How important is that?
I think it could be important. I think it's going to take time. It's not really a priority as going to the private home. It's aimed at the elderly. That's what it's aimed at. So to us, I think, or to me certainly, that's the priority. And if anything else comes from it, it's total bonus after that.
Yeah, I think one of the things we've heard a lot today is from people who deal a lot with seniors, and I mean this is more maybe from the guardian side, but they're dealing with adult children who don't live in this area, but who then come in and find out that, you know, mom, dad, the relative isn't really able to care for themselves the way that they have been in the past. And so then they feel like a need to get involved and find some solutions. And I think that's sort of the idea behind senior solutions management and what Troy and Amy do. Can you comment a little bit about them and what they're doing?
Well, I mean, they're there, should I say, to help guide, to find the best fit for the senior involved. You know, I mean, sometimes even from my point of view, if I'm dealing with elderly people and it's an individual, you know, I've got to think a little bit more carefully about what I'm recommending. You know, because obviously, even though I know what they need, I have to tread carefully. And in a lot of respects, I will always call the children at that point. You know, do you have children? Do you have neighbours? You know, because obviously at the end of the day, I want to make sure that they're getting the right thing. And I think that's why people like Troy and Amy and other members out of the Guardians, to make sure that these seniors are getting the right things, and that's why they spend time with the family to make sure that happens.
Okay. Well, maybe jumping a little bit topic to topic, let's come back to the Golden Providers meetings themselves. If you were inviting somebody to a meeting, you said, you know, you might be a fit for this thing, what would you tell them to expect at a meeting?
With the people I know?
Yeah.
Bored to death. No, I'm sorry. I mean, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, I deal with different people from throughout every industry, and you know, it's not going to be a good fit for the way some people are, but I mean, I'm pretty outgoing, I'm pretty outspoken, I say what I think, and I mean, to me, you know, everybody can adapt to whatever environment you're in, but there are people that I know I couldn't invite to that group because knowing their personality as their personality is, it wouldn't fit. Would the group benefit from them? Absolutely. Would the seniors benefit? Absolutely. But their whole the way they react, would that be a good fit? Sometimes not. You know, because I mean, people network for all different reasons, and you know, and I think it's like with any group of people that you network with, whether it's BNI, whether it's chamber, or whatever it is, you know, the golden no-no is don't try and sell to anybody. Some people, that's all they try and do. They don't. It's not about information. It's let me get some money. You know, so those type of people I wouldn't invite anyway.
Well, and I think one of the keys is, you know, it's funny, we're talking again, we live in an area where 1 out of 5 people is over the age of 65. So any business has got to consider the senior market at some level if they're in this area. It would seem hard not to. And yet, you know, at the same time, there is a feeling of protectiveness over the senior population. I think Golden Providers has, because they don't want to see the seniors get, you know, taken advantage of. And so it's interesting that the makeup of the Golden Providers is people who do seem to share that philosophy.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that people don't think about seniors a lot of the time. I've got a lot of customers that are seniors, and I have to treat them a lot differently to what I treat other people. And I think, from my part, I need more educating, obviously. And I think everybody who goes there, as certainly from our angle as blue collar, they do need to be more educated on how to talk to the people, how to react with them, and you know, that's important, because you know, you say the wrong thing at the wrong time and all hell lets loose. So I mean, obviously, it's important for anybody that does go there that they do take the time to be educated, and Golden Providers provides that. I mean, it is providing that opportunity to enhance your knowledge of how to deal with different people.
Good.
You like that? That's good, wasn't it?
It is.
I was impressed myself then.
I like it. What am I not asking that I should ask, guys?
Why you personally got involved?
Yes, Alan, why you personally got involved?
I had several invitations to go, and somebody else from Truly Nolen was already in there with Debbie. And you know, when she left Truly Nolen, the void was there. And you know, Frank who works with it as well, he wanted to go, or he did go a couple of times. But I think there was probably 7 people in there asked me to go, and you know, the feedback that I'd had from it wasn't very positive from the initial golden providers. But you know, if you listen to hearsay, you'll never go anywhere. So I thought the best thing I'm going to do is go. So, you know, I've known Robin a long time, and, you know, I've known Lisa a long, long time. You know, so, you know, those people I knew, they gave me a little bit more insight into it. I mean, because Robin was one of the people that asked me to go. And, you know, I mean, obviously, to me, I think it was a good decision to do it because, first of all, I have been educated slightly, and I've met some really nice people that I probably would never have normally met. And the business opportunities arise. I mean, from my side, I mean, it's all about the money. At the end of the day, you do need to make some money because you can't just turn up for free. But you know, it's like a lot of things. You know, it's all about relationship building, and you know, the relationships I've got with a lot of the people that are involved with it is pretty solid. I mean, I've known Troy for too damn long, right? I've known Troy for about 8 years, something like that. He was a wee boy then. But you know, I mean, Michelle's a lot better. But you know, what are you going to do? But you know, and of course, then Troy, he introduces me to Amy. And, you know, and Amy and I got on really well. Even from the first time, because I didn't even know at that point you even introduced me, did I? It was a coincidence, the fact that he'd recommended me and I didn't realize he was working with Amy at that time. You know, so it's relationship building as it is, and I mean, you know, the people that you deal with in Golden Providers is a little bit different to other networking groups because you're basically dealing with the same thing, medical. I mean, that's basically it. You know, so obviously you're dealing with a different type of person that you would meet in other networking groups.
Good. What do you think I should have asked you that I haven't asked you?
I don't know. Shall I interview you?
You could. I don't know if that'd be that helpful, but we could try that.
No, I mean, I think, you know, I mean, obviously, the importance here of Golden Providers as it is now through Senior Solutions is making sure we get the right people on board in order to give all the services and get them all covered with people that are trustworthy and they're going to look after the people they're going to see. And, you know, I think with all the services that will come into it, everybody can work together. And, you know, I mean, even to the point where I got educated very slightly when I was at a lady's house the other day, and you know, I did business with her, and then she just happened to mention she was paying $7,000 a month, was going to go out to an assisted living. So the first thing I did was call Troy and said, "Is this a lot of money or what?" You know, I mean, I don't know. And he tells me it's not that much, but it's a lot. So you know, I saw that opportunity to try and help them financially. But I can't do it, so I give it to the experts, you know, and let them deal with it. And you know, I mean, it's people I've put through to a couple of guardians. I've got people to talk to them, and seniors helping seniors. I've referred people to them only because I've been educated by those people, you know. So if I hadn't been educated by them, I wouldn't know how to refer somebody to them. But if I can get something that's a better service at a better rate, I've done the right thing.
That makes perfect sense. Then what I want to do is let you take a minute or two, whatever you want to do, and because you're
coffee.
You can have coffee. You're on camera. And so if you want to do an elevator pitch or just tell your story about Truly Nolen, we'll cut it out, send it to you. Then you can use it if you want to or have it available. So just look at the camera and say, "This is."
So I'm going to kill things.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I got involved with Truly Nolen 12 years ago, and I stayed with the company because it's family owned. They got family values, so we're basically small enough to care and large enough to cope. We're full service. There's nothing we don't do. If it moves, we'll kill it. If it doesn't, we'll kill it anyway, just in case it does. And you know, I mean, with me, it's not sale. It's all about information. So that's basically it.